Tariffs from President Trump have a lot of Canadians vowing to spend less money in the United States.
And that could have a serious impact on northeast Minnesota counties and towns that rely on tourism.
As Northern News Now's Madison Green reports, that was the focus of Senator Amy Klobuchar's visit today to Two Harbors.
Thank you so much, Senator, for
Senator Amy Klobuchar was greeted by a crowd in Two Harbors. City leaders shared plans to revitalize the Agate Bay waterfront to boost tourism.
I mentioned $76 out of the last $100 spent in Lake County last year was from tourists. And for us to be able to keep the quality of life for the people that live here, we need to bring in tourism.
According to Janelle Jones, Executive Director of Love and Lake County, right now there is a lack of foreign visitors.
We have not seen any international traffic yet this year coming through our information centers, and we really hope that that message gets cleared up that we are all open for business.
Senator Klobuchar says tariffs and President Trump's treatment of our northern neighbors are having nationwide effects.
The president's calling Canada the 51st state really pissed them off, okay? 70% of Canadians have canceled their vacations to America.
The Democrat added Republican lawmakers are beginning to see negative impacts of Canadian tariffs and helped pass a bill she co-authored to eliminate them through the Senate.
It was the first time that the kind of the all Trump all the time group broke in order to hold up their economies in their states.
Nationwide, Canadian border crossings were down 12% in February and 18% in March. For communities like Two Harbors, that could have devastating consequences for the local community.
There's not enough people that live here to sustain the quality of life that we're used to. And we want our manufacturing plants and our schools and our hospitals to be able to hire people that want to live here.
In Two Harbors, Madison Green, Northern News Now.
Now, President Trump declared an emergency on the U.S.-Canadian border because of the amount of drug trafficking into the country that allowed him to impose that 25% tariff.
Klobuchar's bill would reverse the declaration and therefore remove the tariffs.
Still to come, how many